live.
Serving both residential and commercial properties, the One Tom Plumber office is located at 509 South Beeline Highway, and their number is 928-267-3411.
And thank you to One Tom Plumber for sponsoring our KRIM Community Spotlight program. Good morning, Rim Country. Chris Higgins in the studio this morning and enjoying some rain here at the studio, but have heard that it's not raining all over town. There are some parts of town that haven't received any rain yet. So hopefully we get some good rain this afternoon, this morning, this afternoon, sometime today. And also we just put a press release out or an update on the Weston Preacher fire updates. The rain that is expected in weather conditions will slow down their operations, and again, for those that don't know, those fires are being managed. Preacher fire now 67% containment, West fire 0% containment, but they are being managed. Backfire is being ignited, so they are burning underbrush in areas that have not been burned for decades. So this will slow that down a little bit, but they still plan on trying to burn some of those areas that really need to be burned, get that underbrush burned. So anyway, this morning we are going to be talking about the Payson Unified School District, PUSD, School Budget Override Continuation. And joining us in the studio this morning, we have members from the Payson Citizens for Excellence in Academics. We have Linda Gibson and
Audra Bailey.
Audra Bailey, that's right, Audra, sorry. And they're going to be talking about PUSD Budget Override Continuation and sharing facts about that. It's great to get accurate information, to know exactly what that budget continuation means, the truths and the untruths, kind of get those cleared up, or hopefully. So again, accurate information can be out there. So this group, Payson Citizens for Excellence in Academics, just want to make it very clear, that's who you're representing today.
Correct.
Because both of you work for the school district.
Correct.
But you have taken time off, and you're both members of this organization, and it is a political action committee?
Correct.
So that is responsible for the signs you see around town,
Yes.
Stickers that you brought in
Yes.
if you're looking to get a sticker to put on a vehicle or somewhere. So tell us a little bit about, I guess, the group and your efforts and what your goal and focus is right now.
Great. So Payson Citizens for Excellence in Academics is just that, a group of community members in Payson who have come together. Our chairperson is Joey Klein, who's the owner of Access Culture Group, and within there. And our treasurer is Jerry Jarrows, who is also a community member as well. With that being said, is to make sure that we're educating the community on what the PUSD Budget Override Continuation is. Continuation is a key word. It is not trying to slant anything. It is very crucial to understand continuation, as this has been in place since 2005. And every 7 years, within 7 years, we have to go back out, or the district must go back out to the voters for voter approval. It is not a guarantee from the state of additional funds for a school district our size. Whereas small schools, such as those are close by in proximity, Pine, Strawberry, Tonneau Basin, because of their ruralness and their low in student numbers, because of the area in which they are established, they actually get a larger multiplier when it comes to the state formula per student. And that's because, in rural areas, there's less resources. And I know I started teaching at a K-12 school at the south rim of the Grand Canyon. They also qualified under a small schools window. Our size, to get additional funds, we must seek approval from the community, the district in which our school boundaries are. We go as far as north, East Verde Estates, to as far east, Colcord Estates, and to as far south as Jake's Corner.
The small school adjustment is also paid by the secondary property tax. It's not paid from the state coffers. So even though the small schools, they still are paying, the taxpayers still pick up the cost of the
Yeah.
additional funds,
Gotcha, from the secondary property tax.
secondary property.
So this is not a new tax, it is just asking the voters to approve a continuation. And a yes vote is just that, of yes, I approve of continuing these dollars going to Payson Unified School District. And they're strictly to Payson Unified School District.
I think some important dates to put out real
Yes,
quick
yes.
are dates
I'm gonna have to put my
when,
glasses on.
yeah,
in
the
a
last
minute,
day to
anyway.
register to vote.
Yes.
Because if people are not registered to vote, what is the last day that
The
they can
last
register to
day
vote?
to register to vote for this election is October 7th.
Mhm.
Early voting then starts October 9th, and the election day is November 5th.
Okay.
So if you're expecting an early ballot, we don't have that date on here, but to, just to register to vote is October 7th.
Mhm.
And as those of us sitting here and many of us in our community understand that every vote counts and it does make a difference, especially in the local arenas as well.
Mhm.
So please vote, and please vote yes is what we're here to advocate for. These dollars that come to the school district strictly go to paying 24 teaching positions and specific program areas for students is what they have been used for and continue to be used for. You want to talk a little bit about what those
With
programs
the
are?
positions, sure. Music, art, some of the technology, choir.
Mhm.
I'm trying.
Physical
Oh, yeah,
education.
PE, that's a big one. The
Yeah.
state doesn't fund PE specifically, and it is covered through the override.
Mhm.
And then the other one at the secondary level, which I know recently there was an Aspire golf tournament to help raise funds to offset high school costs to pay the college tuition portion for dual credit.
Mhm.
So any of our teachers that work specifically for PUSD, who are also dual credit instructors on our campus as well, are also funded within that allocation.
Mhm. I know there was a good video I just shared on the Payson Citizens for Excellence in Academics Facebook page.
Mhm.
So if you go on Facebook and if you haven't liked that page or are following that page, please do, because again, there's a lot of great information on that page. And there was a video with Trevor Creighton, a
Yes.
former teacher
Mhm.
at PUSD, who just recently retired, and just sharing about the struggles when he was in the school district when
Right.
It did not pass.
Right?
And physical education, PE, that came under, or all the teachers were responsible for doing that.
Right.
And so all of these other extra courses
Mhm.
had to be either taught by teachers or didn't get taught
Correct,
to students.
correct,
So
exactly.
that's a really
Right.
big
Right.
negative impact
Right.
on the school
Right.
district.
What Trevor's speaking to is back in 2009, I'm almost certain it's either
Mhm.
2008 or 9, so excuse me for not having that directly right in front of me. We had, voters did not approve it.
Mhm.
School district can go out what's considered early
Mhm.
to ask voters, which is what we did last year.
Mhm.
The override did not pass by 83 votes.
Mhm.
That is very typical for school districts to go out early.
Mhm.
What that means is it allows the school district to have a second chance if the
Mhm.
board votes to go out a second time.
Mhm.
And it has yet to negatively affect financially the school district.
Mhm.
In the case that Trevor Creighton is speaking of is the voters, we didn't go out early and we went out in the last year possible. And when it did not pass, we had to cut 1/3 of that budget amount the next year, and what that felt like. In 28 years, that is the only time I have witnessed a RIF situation. I was a teacher at that specific time,
Mhm.
and talk about morale changes, and if we the morale of Payson Unified School District can affect the morale of the Payson community. Being as that we, Audra mentioned, you want to talk about like just not only employees, but when we talk about the number of kids, we also, and families that interact are going to feel that piece there.
Right. I mean, I feel like our kids that we're educating now are our future. They're our future doctors. They're our future lawyers in our community. So many are coming back, and as the number one employer, when something like this happens, I feel like the point that Trevor makes is how it ripples through the whole community. There's a panic of sorts, and as the number one employer, this is a very large economic impact to our entire town.
And with the kids, there's so many. You mentioned doctors, lawyers, all of the trades.
Yeah.
All of the trades. We also look at the impact our school district has with young people working in the community. And I know we've seen this over the years when we had our business here, and almost all of our employees were high school students. There's quite a few businesses that employ a lot of high school students. So if our school numbers were to decrease and families start moving away, then that impacts a lot of local businesses.
It does.
It just impacts the community in general, because families, our students, our young people, they make our community more vibrant, more active.
Right, exactly.
And contribute heavily.
Right, and when you talk about a school district, it also, a school district that has options within, opportunities within, is a driving force for families to come as well, or for children to return back home and raise their kids here. One is academics, the other is also opportunities. And the district prides itself on the opportunities that it provides for students K-12, even our preschool program for that matter. I know sometimes we hone in on the high school level within that with our dual credit opportunities and students having the option to potentially leave high school with an associate's degree prior to even graduating high school. On top of that, some folks, I've heard some say, well, it's not just about college and university, and you're absolutely right, 100%. We have 7 different trades programs within the school district as well, and our goal when kids graduate from PUSD is that they do one of 4 things. Either A, have a full-time employment, B, are joining the military, C, are choosing to go to a college or a university, or D, are going to a trade school. And we can say with all honesty that 100% of our students last year and the year prior had one of those 4 as a goal as they walked across the stage, or had already had it in place, ready to roll, let's say, as they walked across the stage receiving their diploma. Very, very prideful of the students having a plan for the future to be productive citizens of society, and understanding that this great country has provided opportunities and to seize those opportunities for prosperity.
And that's something that unless you have children in school or grandchildren in high school, might not be aware of the CTE programs.
Yes, career and technical education, trade, same
Yes,
thing, it's
yes,
all the
yeah.
same, yes,
And
pretty
great
phenomenal.
programs.
Culinary,
We have-
autos,
yes, culinary,
construction,
autos, construction trades, marketing, we have in
Theater
there.
tech.
Theater tech.
FFA.
Yes,
FFA,
FFA.
oh, yes, FFA.
So names may have changed, and that's an interesting piece, because I heard at a meeting that it was said that we do not have teacher aides, and we do not have janitors, and.
Wait, you don't have janitors?
Right, and I said, so that's not true.
Is this where the forced labor?
We do not
you
have
make kids clean the
secretaries,
school?
right, so, yes,
The names
the
have
names
changed.
have changed, so
Yeah.
custodian, janitor, same thing.
Yeah.
Teacher aide,
paraprofessional.
paraprofessional, same thing, it's about
Yeah.
service for students, not necessarily just a teacher assistant.
Mhm.
And secretaries, office technicians. As society changed, those names have changed as well to what is more directly related to what they're doing. Paraprofessionals versus teacher aide certainly has a more prominent name, and with all due respect that they deserve within there. The other thing also to share about the school district is that Arizona does not fund full-day kindergarten, and all of our students, kindergarten through 12th grade, go to school over 1,000 hours on a 4-day instructional week. Within that, I want to go back to kindergarten. Kindergarten is expected by the states to go to school less than half of that, significantly less than half. When I say that, because the state does not fund all-day kindergarten teaching, therefore we have, Payson Unified School District for many, many years have said we need full-day kindergarten programs and allocate and prioritize paying for full-day kindergarten teachers rather than just half-day kindergarten programs.
Okay.
So,
Wow, yeah, that's.
different things that
is-
people don't realize, maybe they don't, maybe they do, in that respect of what we have.
Also, I know Flex Fridays
Yes,
has been
Yes.
very successful,
Yes.
a successful program.
That's a great partnership.
Great partnership, the
Yes.
school district, the town, I believe.
Yes.
Who else?
so
is-
Town of Payson and PUSD, the first year we did it, the district did it on their own.
Uh-huh.
What we heard from parents and asking for feedback is a longer extended day rather than
Gotcha.
just a morning.
Uh-huh.
So we did. And then, of course, we were funding that through federal funds, which some may say that the school district had a 30% increase over the last 3 years of funds. We had federal aid during COVID times, that is correct. That was specific to that time period. So as those funds started to leave, which they are gone, we looked for other avenues to partner with, and that's when we started to partner with the town of Payson to create what is now termed Flex Friday. It's always been for students K-5. We now run it as an all-day program, and in conjunction with the two working together to provide those supports for families or students. We have an academic piece in there, and then of course we have it like a camp
Yes.
in that respect on Fridays. We have approximately 100 students that we serve on Friday. We have said we would keep a wait list, but we have never had necessarily a wait list for a length of period of time that we've been able to address all families that were desiring, wanting to participate in the program.
Wow.
So,
That's
yeah.
great.
And they get breakfast and lunch.
Yes,
Yes.
they do. We provide, yeah, they do. They get
Yeah.
breakfast and lunch. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's another, well,
Yeah.
it's not part of the override by any means, but some people out there might not realize that all students K-12 get free breakfast and lunch. There is no cost to families anymore whatsoever. I know Audra had a very strong hand in making that happen for the school district. So looking for ways to save families financially was a strong drive, and also to ensure that students had well-quality meals. There's a change to that too.
Yep, we increase the quality of the food, and it's important that they are not hungry when they're at school
Yes.
at all, and so that they can concentrate and study and.
Yes, feed their bellies so that
Feed
their
the
mind can function.
Okay.
So again, I know just here, when we talk about the override, we are asking for a yes vote in our community. And again, we're here as community members as part of the Payson Citizens for Excellence in Academics. And yes, even though we do also work for Payson Unified School District, we have taken personal time to be here today to do so. The attraction and retention of quality teachers is directly tied to the override when we talk about morale of the district and opportunities that we have for students and families by all means.
And want to point out that, again, we mentioned the Facebook page, Payson Citizens for Excellence in Academics, but then there's also a link to the website paysoneducation.com. And on that website, again, there's more information. Also, the ability to donate to PCEA
Yes.
and join as well.
Yes.
I believe you can request a yard sign.
Yes.
If you would like a sign for your yard, you can get one of those.
A sticker for their car window.
Sticker.
Yes,
and
and they're
we have
actually
the-
decals. So they're the
Nice.
sticky that just go
Window
on the
cling.
inside,
Clings.
window cling.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Window claims.
Thank you
Yeah.
to Tano Silkscreen, appreciate your support there.
Yes, the school district can't pay for any of the promotional materials, so that's
Mhm.
why a political action committee is formed, and everything is funded directly from donations.
Mhm.
So
And it-
every
And
amount
it is a
helps.
very legally registered political action committee where they have followed all appropriate steps to do so. I know there was a question out there somewhere regarding that.
Always.
There's always a question, always a
this.
question within that, by all means, and
Yes.
everything. So,
Yeah, there's a link on the Payson Education.com.
Uh-huh.
There's a QR code and a link to very easily make a small donation, and we'll send you a thank you card. And we appreciate everybody who's donated.
Everybody
Yes.
who's donated. And the most important thing is, again, voting.
Yes.
Voting, and again, the last day to register to vote in the general election is October 7th. So if you are not registered to vote, and it's good if you're unsure. Maybe you've moved recently, you just are not sure that your voter card, ID card is current, that everything is good. It just takes a quick call
Yes.
to the
Gila
office.
County.
Gila County
Yep,
Elections.
Gila County Elections can walk
Mhm.
you through and check for you.
Every time you move, you have to re-register. So if you've
Yeah.
moved across town, you're gonna need to re-register.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you can find their information on the website gilacountyaz.gov, and then under government elections. And their phone number is there. You can give Sadie Joe Bingham a call.
They're
or
very
anyone.
responsive,
Yeah.
they pick up. It's not one of these things where you leave a message and you're waiting weeks.
Mhm. And you can get that information. And then early voting will start October 9th, and the election is November 5th. And again, if you have any questions or there's any uncertainty, just don't assume, oh, I'm good or I'm not good, I can't. If you don't receive an early ballot, call, go to the polls November 5th, still vote. It's
Yes.
very important.
It is, absolutely.
It can be really confusing when you go and vote, because sometimes when you vote no, you're really voting in support. So I always like to have like a connection. So if you love schools, you're gonna vote yes. Like, just keep that in your mind, like,
There you go, yes.
Yes for programs, yes for kids, yes for PUSD, yes for
Yes for
Payson
Payson.
economy.
Yes, on the school budget override continuation. And again, if you want to give Payson Citizens for Excellence in Academics a call, their phone number is 928-978-0270. Or the website, again, is paysoneducation.com, and they're also on Facebook. So all the information is out there. If you have questions, reach out through the Facebook page, website, the phone number, again, 978-0270. So please, if you have questions, concerned, you're hearing things, you're told things that you're not sure about,
Please ask.
please
Please
verify.
ask rather than make assumptions. And the other thing is to just become informed, to go to Gila County assessors and look at your own taxes. Become educated in where your dollars really do go to, and to do the math. And if you have questions, we're happy to assist or to answer when it has to do with the school district. There's some interesting pieces on there in terms of how if you're a homeowner or property owner, you could receive tax credits if this is your primary residency, and that comes directly off of your school district primary tax. So it's just some interesting pieces. If you've never really looked at it, we've had a lot of conversations lately regarding this. I know I've learned some things, even myself, for me and my husband and our residents that we weren't aware of. And some things that just interesting information when it comes to where do our dollars really go when it comes to taxes, and how is that spent, and just to be informed.
So how does it show on the
Yeah.
somebody's taxes? And I know there's different,
So when you look at the tax, and I just have a copy of mine here in front, there's a piece at the top that shows where it's coming from your primary, and that's the initial taxes that fund public schools. And then you'll see two towards the bottom that show coming from your secondary tax. And that's where you're going to see Payson Unified School District override, and you're also going to see Payson Unified School District bond taxable amount for our payment purposes to bonds that we had back in
2009.
Yes, I want to say it was right around there as well.
That's what built Julia Randall Elementary.
Right.
oh, okay, wow, yeah.
And so we continue to, and that's also what we just recently financed, the school district did. And without going into, I know for time's sake, the beautiful thing of that is that in refinancing, we've saved taxpayers over about $500,000.
It's like refinancing your house. We had an opportunity to refinance some of that debt.
Yes, and that's usually, with the majority of bonds, that's what happens.
Right,
Usually
right.
about 10-year, at the 10-year mark, that's when you can look at refinancing.
Right.
And, it's usually a lower interest rate.
right.
If it is, then that's great
Right.
savings to residents. So
Yeah.
that's good.
The one thing you won't see on mine, because this is what I recently learned, is the very last line that would show if it's a primary residence, a tax credit, a PUSD 10 tax credit directly on the primary tax. They have had our residence, which we just found out this last week, as a secondary, which is not our secondary, it is our primary. So unfortunately, we have not been getting that tax credit for quite some time, which again, just became informed of this. Yes,
Yeah.
lived
Your
and
tax
learned.
bill.
So with that being said, please, we encourage people to go take a look at their tax bill. I was having a conversation with somebody who lives in the Star Valley area. However, if you went to her house, are you in Star Valley or are you in Payson, right? Kind of thing. And what do her taxes go to? And so it's just very interesting, and often it's like, I've never even seen this. I never even stopped and looked at this. Like, stop and look to be informed and become aware of what it actually is when it comes to when you get that tax bill in the mail of what you're paying towards.
Well, that,
We can field some questions at the district office if people have questions about their taxes that are on their bill that are school district related. We can help them analyze and further help them understand if they want to give us a call at the district.
All right. No, that is great. Again, if you want more information on the budget continuation, the override continuation, you can visit the website. It's paysoneducation.com, and this is Payson Citizens for Excellence in Academics. If you would like to request a yard sign, you see the yard signs around town, or a window cling for your vehicle, you can do that through the website or also their Facebook page. Again, it's Payson Citizens for Excellence in Academics. And a couple numbers here. The number on the Facebook page, 978-2088 or 978-0270.
And excellence in academics is about having well-rounded opportunities for students to thrive.
Great. So anything else you would like to share?
We just say thank you for having us on as part of
so
the
welcome.
Political Action Committee. And again, we encourage people to vote yes in favor of excellence in academics and providing well-rounded programs for students to thrive.
All right.
Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you, Audra. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, everyone, for watching and listening today. Again, please share this information. And if you have questions, again, please reach out to this group and get your questions answered or concerns addressed. That is encouraged by everyone. That's part of the group that's working towards this. They want to get accurate information to all of the residents, and it's not just Payson residents, but everyone in the Payson Unified School District.
Boundaries,
Yes,
correct.
those boundaries. So,
Correct.
yes, Well, thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you to One Time Plumber also for sponsoring our Community Spotlight program. Time to get back to the music with some Cheap Trick, Paul Simon, The Kinks, and more. But let's first get an update from the National Weather Service.
With this morning's KRIM weather
forecast for Payson and surrounding areas, I'm now asking you to look out.
All right, see you guys.